Hello and welcome to another Whole Being Healing podcast. I am Lisa Warner. I am the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing and co-creator of Lisa and Maura's Magical Mystery School for Whole Being Healers with our signature course, Whole Being Healing.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm so happy that you are. And I am Maura Leones, and um, I am a transformational leader, author of the 7 Steps to Successful Relationships, and co-creator with Lisa of the Magical Mystery School and the Whole Being Healing. And so happy to be doing this with you, Lisa. I'm feeling really good today. How are you feeling?
Yay! I am feeling really good too. We have just crossed the 5-5 portal of this year of 2026, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Lots of energies moving and shaking and aligning and letting us all up level. It's super exciting. So,
Yeah, nice. And I am sleeveless today, which has shocked Lisa tremendously, which I'm not
mhm.
surprised. It shocks me as well. But somebody told me I had the right to bear arms, so I figured I'd bear my arms. That's what it means to me, bearing arms. That's about all it means. All right. Hopefully, I don't get us kicked off of YouTube. So today we have a fantastic topic for you once again. We love having these conversations. And what are we talking about today, Lisa?
Today, we are going to talk about you have to be it before you will see it. So, what that means is that our internal environment is what is creating our external environment. So, when we be something, that's when we experience the thing that we be.
Yep. And it seems backwards. I was just talking to Lisa about this, that it feels like we're putting the cart before the horse because we have really been conditioned to feel like, I will feel this way. This will happen once this happens. Well, that wasn't a good example. That was very vague.
Been conditioned to respond to the external environment. We have been conditioned to react rather than create, but we are creators by design, by divine design. It's who and what we are. So we are always creating in every moment of every day, whether we realize it or not. The laws of the universe, molecular law, how the molecules are put together, works 24/7, nonstop, and is non discriminatory. It works the exact same for every single being, every single time.
Right? And for so many of us, it's like, oh, I know this is going to happen, and it's something we don't want. And then it happens. And it's like, see, okay, you just proved what we just said. You just proved universal law. You've just proved how creation works. And yet we don't realize that we are the ones proving it. We are the ones creating it. But then we flip it around and do it the other way and do it intentionally, right? Instead of saying, oh, I know this is going to happen and it's something we don't want, say, I know this is going to happen and it's what we do want. Then we get what we want and we get to prove it in the right direction. So, how does this apply to healing?
Well, it applies because there are we live in a universe of infinite possibilities, and every single version of you that is possible already exists. The happy you, the sad you, the healthy you, the diseased you, the stressed you, the depressed you, the ecstatic you, the all yous exist simultaneously, and you get to choose between them. But we've never been taught that we get to choose, and we have never been taught that who we be on the inside whether we're being stressed or depressed or happy or confident or certain or capable. All of those states of being generate our reality. So the predominant state of being is generating our reality. So if we have been conditioned to be in fear, stress, worry, anxiety, we're not going to have a good experience. It's not going to be a lot of fun being ourselves when we are stressed and depressed. And our bodies, thus our health, is directly impacted by that. We can't expect to be radiantly healthy when we're being terribly depressed. It's not going to happen.
Right. And I love this idea of different versions of ourselves because the tricky part here for me has been, and I know for a lot of people, is how do I change my state of being when my state of being feels like it's stuck or it feels like that's just how it is? How do I shift that when this is just how I'm feeling? And we've been conditioned to think that feelings happen because of things rather than us being able to create how we feel, which is what we're talking about right now, right? But the feelings part of it is the really important part because it seems counter to what we think is true. And so thinking about it as different versions of ourselves is really helpful because if I think of, well, what version am I being right now? And how does that feel? And do I want to keep being that version? And so if I just go, well, I'm just going to shift my feelings, sometimes it feels like, well, I can't do that. I don't know if I can do that. I don't feel like I can do that, right? Because I feel this way. But if I look at, well, what version of myself would I like to be right now? And I start visualizing that, I start thinking about it, I start saying, I would like to be like this, I would like to feel like this, then I am in the process of creation. I am starting that creation right then. And that is how healing happens.
Yes. When I was in kind of my real dark night of the soul, one of the many, I felt like I didn't have anything to be happy about. Somebody said, well, just, start being happy. I was like, I don't have anything to be happy about. I can't be happy. And they said, really? Are you sure about that? Like, can you remember a time that you were happy? Have you ever been happy? I was like, well, yeah, probably. And then when I really sat with that and I started to realize, like, oh, if I really place myself in that memory of being happy and I actually allow myself to go there and to feel that, I suddenly realized, like, oh my gosh, I can feel happy simply by placing my focus there, by choosing it. And it doesn't matter what my external circumstances are. For me, it was the external circumstances of, oh, I don't have any money in the bank. I don't know where I'm going to get my next rent check, whatever it was. And,
Mm.
I was constantly stressed about it. And I was never happy because I was constantly stressed about the number in the bank account. And I realized the number in the bank account was never going to change as long as I was constantly stressed about it, because that's what I was creating.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember many years ago when we first started our online business and we didn't, have things like Canva yet that could really make things easy to create, but I was already an artist, so I knew how to like clip things and cut and paste things, and I figured out how to do that on my computer screen in a rudimentary way, but I did it pretty well. And I took a screenshot of our bank account and I changed the number to what I wanted it to be. And I put that as my wallpaper on my computer. And I had that there for years. And it worked, man.
Right. And it's the same thing with our health. If
Yeah.
we are living stressed and in anxiety, our bodies are going to respond to that. Our bodies adapt to our internal environment. So we have been conditioned to believe that our bodies are being attacked by diseases, but the disease is happening from the inside. The body is responding to, adapting to the dis-ease within. We're not being attacked by something that comes from outside us. It's all being generated from us. So if you are facing some disease at the moment, you have been being the version of yourself that there's something wrong with me. I'm stressed, I'm anxious because I don't think I can control this thing. There's something out of my control. There's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with my life. This is what your body is telling you. It's simply showing you what you believe to be wrong with you, because different parts of the body respond to different types of stressors.
Yeah, that's so important and so true. And the one thing that comes up for me is, well, what about toxins, right? Those come from the outside, don't they? Well, yeah, they do, but it's still your consciousness that is enabling that is causing you to either do well with the toxins and easily clear them, easily be able to have your body transmute them or eliminate them or whatever needs to be done or have them affect you dramatically in ways that aren't what you want. It's that has to do with your consciousness, your focus, how you react to it, right?
Absolutely. There are documented cases in history of, yogis drinking gasoline and having absolutely no effect whatsoever on their body because they were in that consciousness, knowing that they can transmute anything, that nothing has any power over them whatsoever. But we have all been conditioned to believe that we are the victims of the external reality, that what they show us on TV and in movies and social media is the way it is in the world, and that, oh no, something bad's happening and we better be afraid, we better take action to protect ourselves from the bad thing, whatever that might be. And
Right?
then we simply go along with those stories and we generate those things for ourselves.
Yeah, and I want to say even alternative media, it's the same thing. It's the things that get you emotional. It's the things that pull your attention. It's the things that have polarity, good guys and bad guys, and all that drama is great when you're watching a movie or reading a book. But the drama that is not serving us, we need to notice the difference. We need to be discerning about what we're looking at and how it's affecting us even when it's an alternative thing, even when the things, may be perfectly true. It's that it's how you feel about it, it's how you look at it, it's how you internalize it, how you bring it into yourself and into your own consciousness, how you deal with it in your consciousness is how your body is going to be affected by and deal with it.
Yes, and in our internal world creates the external world. This is universal law. This is literally how it works. So if you're seeing things in the external world that you don't like, and you're continuing to focus on those things, or you're allowing those things to make you feel a certain way, make you feel
Yeah.
right, you're choosing
Hmm.
to feel a certain way about the things that you see in the external world and it doesn't feel good, that's on you, because you are the master of your inner realms. You are the only one in there. There is nobody else inside your consciousness. No one else is inside your inner realm. And so, therefore, you are the only one. And everybody else that you look at is a projection of yourself, a projection of your internal realm.
Yeah.
because if they weren't a match for something inside your realm, they wouldn't be there.
Right. And we were just talking about this as well. And I realized as we were talking about it, if everything is an outpicturing of my consciousness, then when people talk about, oh, the world is a simulation, and it's like, oh, I don't want that to be true. That doesn't feel right. But the way that I got it, as we were talking about that, is the world is a simulation that I'm creating. My world is a simulation, or it's an outpicturing of what's going on in my consciousness. That's what it is. If I want it to be different, I can make it different. This
Yeah.
is the power we have. People don't realize how much power we have, and we're already having over our lives. We're just not necessarily having it consciously.
And because we're shown pictures on a daily basis of, just think about the news. They broadcast the news, they have the same stories every day, everywhere in the world. So everywhere in the world, you're looking at the same thing. So people are collectively looking at specific stories, which then manifest as the collective reality, because not because it's real, but it's because it's been projected inside. We've taken it in and we've focused on it, we've reacted to it, and now we've all projected it out there onto the view screen of life. And we're like, oh my gosh.
And there's so many levels you can look at this on. You can think, oh, this is kind of woo-woo the way we're talking about it. Well, it can be. You can look at it that way. And you can also look at it really practically. Because if I'm focused on the things on the screen, which may or may not be true, especially in this age of AI when we don't know if what they're showing us is even real, but we'll put that aside. As I'm focusing on that, I'm not focusing on being the solution, on doing what I can do in my life to make the world awesome. And what if we were all doing that instead of watching the screen and getting upset? How much more effective could we be at having things be completely the opposite of what we're seeing on that screen?
Right? And we have the ability to choose the version of ourselves that we wish to be. So if we want to live in heaven on earth, we need to be the version of ourselves that doesn't have any of that other outside garbage in our reality. And it's actually not that difficult, to like, we don't have war, Mara and I. We don't have war and fighting in our realities. We don't have a lot of the fear porn in our realities. Like, it just doesn't exist. Not because it's, not in the collective consciousness, it's not in our consciousness. And when it's not in our consciousness, it's literally not in our reality. And it's
Yeah.
easy to say, oh, well, you're just spiritually bypassing all of that. You're just, in la la land, and you're not looking at what's real. Well, actually, we're being what's real. The version of ourselves. You are what is real. You who are watching this are what is real.
And the people around you are real. So again, if I'm caught up in what's going on a screen, what's going on the other side of the world, not that you shouldn't care about people you don't know. You can care about people you don't know, that's fine. But what about the people right around you? What about the people in your home, in your family, in your community? People you know, even if they are online and you're connected to them online, but they're people you know, or people you could be get to know and connect with. And we can have real conversations with each other and support each other and be loving toward each other. And what a difference that makes. I really feel like I'm on a soapbox today.
So, Marco,
It feels good though. I mean, look, those who would like to, um, fight and argue and create chaos certainly seem to be very passionate about it. So, those of us who want to create peace and love and heaven on earth, as you said, Lisa, and health in our bodies and vitality and being the best we can be and making life awesome, we need to be just as passionate or more passionate as those who are creating chaos.
Yep, it's as easy to create peace and harmony as it is to create chaos and confusion. It's just which one are you going to focus on? Which direction are you going to place your attention? Because where you place your attention, what you believe, what you choose to focus on is what you be. In any moment, you are being that which you are focused on. Meaning, if you're focused on fear, you're being fearful, you're being a victim, you're being, I'm not okay, this is terrible, right? You're being that version of yourself that is diseased. And when we're focused on being vibrant and radiant and healthy and passionate and alive, we be that in the moment. Which would you rather be? Because what you be is what you see.
Yep. Yeah, I remember there was a process or a teaching in personal development early on when I first started it. It was like we look at things as have, do, be. If I have this, then I can do this, and then I can be this way. And it's the other way around. It's be, do, have, right? So if I want to be this version of myself, what would I be doing as that version of myself? So starting to put myself in that state of being, and then, okay, so now I'm going to start doing this. And you can go straight to it. You can go to it quickly, right? Or you can just sit in the being for a while. Either way works, right? And then have, like, what have I now created? This is how we are creator beings. This is how we create value in life. This is how we create our experience. This is how we create our experiences with others. This is how we create the collective experience together.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing the power that we actually have when we take a moment to simply notice?
Mm.
Yeah, and it's, I can hear people saying, well, but I'm crippled with arthritis, so I'd really like to be out hiking a mountain, but I can't move.
Mm.
Well, what's it going to take for you to turn that around? Because you are the creator, and this isn't pointing fingers, and this isn't about you did it wrong. It's not about that at all. It's about we are each the creator. If you have created something unintentionally, like arthritis or cancer or any other physical malady, right? If you have created it by default, oops, you get to choose again. If you created it, you can also uncreate it, but you can't uncreate it by focusing on it, because focusing on it just keeps creating more and more of the same thing, because the universe goes, oh, hey, I see you really like that. Here, let me give you some more of that. That's how generous the universe is. Ask and it is given is universal law. And we
Mm.
ask with our intention, we ask with our attention, we ask with our belief, we ask with our assumption. So assume better.
Yeah. And it's also important to remember, this is something that I've been re-remembering lately, is that pain is part of the healing process. And that pain does not always mean that we should, like when you put your hand in a flame and it's burning you, you want to pull your hand out of the flame. So then you automatically think, oh, anytime there's pain, I should not do anything to let the pain continue. But in some cases, think about it. If you're like working out with your body, if you're doing fitness, if you're doing something that's making you stronger, then there can be pain along with that. That's actually not a bad thing. Similarly with healing, if you're doing healing work where you maybe you have someone working on you, doing body work on you, that's painful. That's like intensifying the pain, but you're like, oh, it hurts so good. This is, that's part of the healing process, and it's going to help you get better, right? But so much of the time, it's easy to think, oh, this hurts. I want the hurting to stop. So either I'm going to, take a pill that's going to ease the pain, which then you're only suppressing the pain. In some cases, doing something natural that can sort of help ease the pain can help you to then be more active and allow and support the healing process. So I'm not saying don't ever do that, but not suppressing it completely and not allowing it to completely take you over and say, well, I can't do things because it's too painful. Well, is that true? Can you really not do it? Or could you do a modification of it right now? Could you start doing it a little bit? You know, that helps the healing process. The body goes, thank you. But again, it starts in the consciousness because while I notice that while I'm doing it, I need to not be thinking the thought, oh, I'm hurting myself right now. This is going to make me worse. I need to be thinking the thought, I'm helping myself right now. This is going to make me better. Thank you, body. And I feel my body thanking me. It's so cool.
Right. And when we start to envision, imagine our radiantly healthy body, the body that is fully regenerated and rejuvenated, the body that has been restored to blueprint, what does that feel like? When we start to spend some time in that sensation, just in our mind, in our consciousness, we're telling the body what we want it to do. We're literally rearranging our own molecules with our attention. We have the ability to shapeshift. We are each the master of our own molecules. And we need to show our molecules what we want them to do. Once we give them permission with our attention to return to blueprint, then the body knows exactly what to do to return to blueprint. We've never been taught this.
Until now. Because we're
You heard
teaching
it here
you this
first,
right now.
people.
That's right. We're teaching you this, and then you can teach others. When you come
And
into
we're
Lisa and
doing it
Mara's Magical
ourselves,
Mystery School, you can learn it and then teach others whole being healing. Yay!
right? Exactly. Because this is what we're doing for ourselves. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not like the poop I dream of genie thing, where you're just like, oh, restore the blueprint. It takes a little bit of time because our consciousness has been so deeply ingrained in aging, in decline, in degradation, in disease. It takes a little while to clear out all of those electromagnetic charges from our consciousness. Thoughts are electrical, emotions are magnetic, and how they bond together, tells the shape of our consciousness. It shows the molecules how to bond together. So until we can release those charges, until we can either have the aha moment where we go, oh, I get it. I don't have to suffer anymore. Oh, my body's not being attacked by a disease. Wow, right? That releases a whole bunch of charges, but by grounding, by doing things that allow us to come to peace inside, that also starts to loosen up all of those charges and some those ingrained beliefs. We start to see the lie in the middle of the word. Be lie, belief, right? We don't have to live those lies.
Right. And then at the same time as all that is happening and we're working through that process, then we still have all those outside influences trying to distract us, trying to get our attention, trying to traumatize us, really. I mean, there's so much out there that we could be traumatized by that whenever we, even for a moment get pulled into that, then we need to bring ourselves back. And this is why working in community is so supportive because I mean so supportive of our internal process because we each have our own internal process, we each have our own consciousness, we have our own biofield, we have our own bodies, we have our own experience. But when we connect, we are so much more, we find out we are so much more alike than we are different. Keith loves to say that over and over, and it's such a beautiful and true thing. We are so much more alike than we are different. And those ways that we are alike, it is so supportive to be able to vocalize those things and have someone else holding space for those things and hearing us and going, oh my God, that's me too. It helps so much.
We are at the point in our human collective development where we are moving into the higher dimensions. We're leaving the third dimension behind. We're leaving the inversion behind, where everything is flipped around backwards. We are in the process of exiting that third dimension at this point and moving into that fifth dimension. The fourth dimension is where we get to choose. Am I going to keep staying in the third dimension or am I going to choose better? Like that's the bridge is the fourth dimension. So as we move forward, what are we moving forward to? We're creating a whole new way of being on this planet. Well, it's actually the original way, the original divine design of living in harmony and peace on this planet where we are provided for, where the earth herself provides everything we need, where the divine provides everything we need. But until that happens, we have to be very diligent with our focus and attention because that third dimension is really sticky. It's really magnetic. That
It is.
fear is magnetic.
Really? And we're told that we're crazy if we believe this stuff, that this is oh, come on, what are you talking about? So, but you can feel it if you're watching this and you're still watching this and you haven't turned it off yet, then you feel it too. You feel the truth of what we're saying. And so trust that. Don't let them tell you that that is crazy or that it's wrong or that it's not true. You know what's true. You can feel it.
Yeah, you have the power to shape your reality. And it's all about you. When you focus on what version of me do I choose to be? And then you focus and you hold that focus. And you don't look outside. You don't look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I haven't lost the 50 pounds yet. Nope. It's like, nope, I am slender. I am strong. I am beautiful. I am returned to blueprint. And it doesn't matter what it looks like in the mirror. You have to know it inside first. You have to be it before you will see the results.
Yeah, like when Keith called me a smoke show the other day. And at first I was like arguing with him or just feeling like, oh, well, that's so sweet of him to say that. And then I was like, I am a smoke show. I am. And then I looked in the mirror later on and they said it again. I was like, you are a smoke show. Let's go. Let's be the best we can.
Right? And let's have fun with it. Let's allow ourselves to be sexy, happy, confident, capable. All of these things are available to us. I lived as ugly for decades. I was just ugly. In my inside, I was just like, I'm just so ugly. And finally, one day, I just woke up in the morning and went, I'm tired of being ugly. What if I was just beautiful? What if I could feel the beauty inside? What if I recognize that I'm a beautiful being with a beautiful heart? What would it be like to own my beauty, no matter what it looks like in the mirror? And everything started to change. And pretty soon I was able to see, oh, you're really not ugly. Like, that was
Right? Because
never true.
you probably started smiling a lot more, especially when you looked at yourself in the mirror and you started to see your beauty because you weren't scowling at yourself anymore, right? And looking for all the flaws.
Right. And it was just, oh, I've been choosing to be the ugly version of myself.
Yeah.
I get to choose to be the beautiful version. It's completely my choice. And when I was found myself facing cancer, I was like, I have zero interest in walking this path. I have no interest whatsoever in being some survivor of cancer. I have no interest in playing that game whatsoever. So I realized I had to be the radiantly healthy version of me, no matter what it looked like in the mirror, no matter what my body was doing, no matter what felt like in my body at the time. I had to choose different. I had to choose better for myself. And as I chose to be the radiantly healthy version of me, everything that was standing in the way of that came up, and then I was able to release it.
Nice.
And that was the healing process. It didn't take doctors, it didn't take pills, it didn't take any medical intervention or intervention from anyone else. It was me, 100% me. And if I can do it, every single one of us can do it.
Yep, we can. We all can. We just say no, thank you. No, thank you.
Mm.
Right? I remember because for me, it was about stress. My diagnosis was clear to me that was all about stress. And so I was like, no more stress, not doing that anymore. And I remember when Keith and I were planning our wedding, and I said, anyone who brings stress into this gets fired. And that was what I did. I fired the bakery, I fired the florist. Like, oh, do it myself, or I'll do it over here, whatever I do. I almost fired my parents, but they came into line. Almost was like, we're gonna elope. Oh, no, no, okay, we're good. No stress, not doing that. No, thank you.
Yeah, we all have that power. So today we ask you who are watching this, what version of you are you being right now? And what version of you would you like to be right now? You get to choose. There are infinite versions of you, and they all exist right now. It's simply a matter of bringing yourself into alignment with the version you wish to be.
That's it. Well said, Lisa.
Right? So, can you trust yourself to be who you are designed to be, who our Creator created you to be? Our Creator created you to live your very best, most joyful life. Are you willing to be that? Are you willing to follow that path beyond your wildest dreams? We have been living in a very limited box in this reality. Are you willing to break the bonds of limitation and unlimit your consciousness so that you can start to see all the rest of what's available in this infinite universe, the universe of infinite possibilities? Are you willing to allow possibilities that you've never, ever considered to come into your consciousness? so that you can start to experience those.
Yes, I'm willing. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we hope this conversation has helped light a spark in you. We hope that you've had some fun with us, that you've been able to laugh with us a little bit. Even if you laughed at us, it's okay. We're cool with it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I was just thinking about how I felt when we first started doing this, and I said you tricked me into it, and oh no, I'm putting myself out there. Oh no, I was imagining the worst, right? And I was like, oh no, that's not what I want. This is what I want. Let's have some fun.
Fun. This is where the healing happens. When we're feeling good, then we
Yeah,
start to feel good, right? We
yeah,
start to feel better in our bodies. Our bodies start to feel better when we're happy. We release different hormones. There's a different chemistry in our body when we're happy and laughing and having fun than when we are stressed and depressed. Totally different sets of chemicals in our bodies. So
yeah.
your body is responding to who you are being. So this is our really, it's a very powerful message when you allow it to be, when you recognize that you are fully in charge of you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking your time today to be with us and listen to this message. And we hope that it inspired you and we hope that it helped you to shift in this moment and will help you to continue to shift. And we would love to see you again. So come
Yes.
back and see us.
You'd like more of this and you'd like to come and play with us in the mystery school and you'd like to have that 12-week experience of whole being healing where you come in as one version of yourself and we help you move into a completely different version of yourself that feels so much better when you started, then go to wholebeinghhealing.life and check out our whole being healing course. So we would love to have you join us if it's a match.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lisa.
All right. Thank you, Mara. Thank you all for watching today. Until next time,
Happy
happy healing.
healing.